Hello and welcome to lesson 29, Perfectly Spoken, level A2, and today's class we are going to talk about statistics, numbers. Okay, so you will need, for this lesson, you'll need a notebook and a pen. Okay, so make sure you have your notebook and your pen. Okay, are you ready? Then let's begin. Okay, so in this class, we're going to do a quick review of numbers. It will be in the form of a quick dictation. We're going to talk about quantity and different ways to talk about quantity. And we're going to look at two phrasal verbs and some other verbs we use a lot when we're talking about graphs and charts as well. And we will look at interpreting a chart and a graph. Okay, so are you ready now? What I'm going to do now is we'll have a number dictation. So I'm going to say the numbers quite quickly. You need to write them down, okay? So try and do it quickly. I will say each number just twice. That's it. Okay, and I'm not going to go too slowly. So it's good practice, good listening practice. So are you ready? Yes? Okay, the first number, 40, 40, 14, 14, 33, 33, 87, 87, 99, 99, 23, 23, 88, 88, 54, 54, 89, 89, 72, 72, 50, 50, 60, 60, 16, 16, 15, 15, 90, 90, and last one, 97, 97. Right, okay, now, wait, I will put them on the screen so that you can check your answers. Right, so here we go. We've got 40, 14, notice 40, 14, 33, 87, 99, 23, 88, 54, 89, 72, 50, 60, 16, 15, 90, and 97. Okay. Now, if you found that activity difficult, you can go back to lesson 2 of the A2 level for some practice, okay? Some practice and to remember the numbers. Also, if you found it difficult, practice with a friend dictating numbers to each other. Because it's something that's very good to practice a lot so that you get quicker and quicker and quicker. Okay, now, what I'm going to do now, we're going to start talking about statistics. And the first thing we're going to look at is percentages. Okay, so have a look here on the screen. we've got talking about statistics, and we've got percent and fractions. All right? So, sorry, I keep doing that. Okay. Okay, sorry. Right, so we've got percent, 40%, 40%, 48%, 48%, 52%, 52%, 30%, 30%, 25%, 25%, 75%, 75%. Okay, and now on the other side of the screen, you see here, we've got fractions. So fractions, for example, you have one example here, you've got half, okay? So half is the same as 50%. 50% is half. 0.5 is half, okay? So let's have a look. We've got less than half. Less than half. So you've got all 100%, half, less than half. Notice the pronunciation. We don't pronounce the L. It's a long A, so it's half. Here you can see that the two dots, that means it's a long sound, half, not half, no, half. So less than half. 3/4, okay? 3/4. Now, which number on the other side here, which number of the percentages is the same as 3/4? Yes, 75%. 75% is the same as 3/4. A quarter. A quarter. Again, notice it's quarter, no, a quarter. You've got that schwa sound, a quarter. A quarter is the same as 25%. And here we've got just over half. Now look at the picture here. You can see here, you've got 3 lines, right? You've got a black line, that's half. And the red line is just over half, okay? Just over half. So which number here, which number is just over half? Yes, 52%. 52% is just over half. Okay, and then we've got just under half. So here in the picture, you can see in the yellow line, okay? The yellow line is just under half. So which number would that be? Yes, exactly. 48% is the same as just under half. And then we've got almost or nearly half. Almost or nearly half. So 48% is also the yellow. Okay, so it's nearly, not exactly, but nearly or almost. And the same, we've got almost or nearly a third. Okay, so a third, almost or nearly a third would be 30%. Okay. All right, if you want to write that down, then you can go back, pause the video, write it in your notebook, okay? Because it's quite a lot of language. The pronunciation of words like half, third, quarter, they're very, very important. So it's important to notice and practice the pronunciation. Okay, now we're going to look now at a chart, okay, a chart. Now this chart is what we call a pie chart, okay, it's a pie chart. So have a look at this chart. So here we've got a chart And as you can see from the title, it's the marks from the maths course 2017. Okay, so it's a maths course 2017. Now, as you can see, you've got 3 colours. Got blue, light purple and orange. The blue means pass, so yeah, good. The orange means fail, and the light purple is like, you have to retake. That means do the exam again. Okay, so for example, if you get 45%, maybe you can do the exam again. Right, now I'm going to put some sentences here on the screen. I want you to look at the sentences and just decide if the sentences are true or false related to this chart here. Okay, so have a look here. Number 1, in 2017, more than 50% of students passed the maths course. Is that true or false? Well, according to this chart, it's true. Yes, probably about 52, 53%. Okay, number 2. In 2017, about is like approximately, about a quarter of students failed the maths course. Is that true or false? I think it's true because the orange, it looks like about approximately 25%. Okay, last one. Number 3, again, about or approximately 40% of the students are doing a retake exam. Is that true or false? Yes, of course, it's false. It's false. Okay, because you can see from the purple, it's just a few, maybe, I don't know, 12% or 10%. Okay, all right, now that's the Maths Course 2017. Now let's have a look at the Maths Course 2016. Okay, so again, we've got blue as the pass, orange as the fail, and light purple as the retake. So notice it's similar but different. Okay. So under a quarter of the students passed the exam. Yes, under a quarter of the students passed the exam. Is this true or is this false? Yes, of course, it's false. About or approximately or about a quarter of the students can retake the exam. Is that true or false? I think it's true. I think it's true. It looks like about a quarter, about 25, maybe 26% or 27 maybe. Okay, and number 3, 2/3 of the students are going to retake the exam. Notice going to future, 2/3. So no, that's false. It's false. Okay, so probably there's about, well, less than, oh no, we said, no, sorry, I was looking at the orange. No, the retake is probably just over a quarter or about a quarter. So it's false. Okay. Right, so maybe it'd be a good idea to write those sentences out. so that you get used to the language, okay, using the language. And you can write some different sentences about the charts. Okay, now we're going to look at some verbs that we use when we're talking about graphs, especially, or when we're talking about trends. Okay, so have a look at these verbs. There are 6 verbs in total. 2 are phrasal verbs. So have a look, and can you identify the phrasal verb on this first one? Okay. So can you see a phrasal verb? Yes, of course, go down. All right. So we're looking at verbs related to things going down and things going up. Okay. And synonym of go up is also to rise. To rise. And another synonym is to increase. Dun, dun, dun. Now, interesting information. Rise and increase are verbs, but they can also be nouns. That's just extra information. Today, we're going to use them as verbs, okay? All right. Now, next one. So then we've got some other verbs related to go down. So we've got go down, fall, and decrease. Okay, and again, these verbs also, fall and decrease, can be a verb or a noun. Today, we're going to use them as verbs. Okay, so have a look at some of the examples. First, this is important information. I've put the verbs here in red and blue in the past simple. Okay, just to remind you. So go up in the past is went up. Rise in the past is rose. Increase is a regular verb, so it's increased pronunciation. Go down in the past is went down. Fall in the past is fell. Decrease in the past is decreased. Okay? All right. Now, here are some example sentences. World population is going up. The population of Barcelona is rising. The prices of flats is increasing. Last year, the prices rose 10%. 3 years ago, the population went up by 1%. Now, these sentences, you can write them down, practice saying them. Do you think they're true? Do you think they're false? What's your opinion? Okay. So it's a good idea to pause the video and write them down and practice saying them again and again and again and listen to my pronunciation. Now, those sentences were all examples of things going up. So now we're going to look at some examples of things going down. Okay, so the population of villages is going down. That's true. Why? Because a lot of people are going to live in the cities. Okay, the temperature falls at night. Sales decrease in January. Last week, the price of oil fell by 0.1%. Last year, the number of tourists went down. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to put, we've looked at a chart. Now we're going to look at a graph. Okay? So here is the graph. Right, can you see this graph? Right, so we've got hours of sleep, and we've got 4 days, and we've got 3 people, John, Nellie, and Fiona. So I just want you to listen, and I'm going to talk you through the graph. So just listen. All right, so the blue line is related to John, and John, you can see John on Fridays usually sleeps about 9 hours, but on Saturdays he only sleeps about 5 hours. On Sundays he sleeps about 7 hours, and on Mondays he sleeps about 7.5 or nearly 8 hours. Okay? Looking at Nellie. Nellie is the orange line. On Fridays, she sleeps the same as John, about 8 or 9 hours. And on Saturday, the same. On Sundays, she sleeps more, she sleeps longer. And on Mondays, she sleeps just a little bit less, about 10 hours. Okay, and now Fiona. Fiona is the purple, light purple line, and Fiona sleeps generally between between 6 and 8 hours every night, probably a bit more on Fridays. Now, John, Nellie, and Fiona are in the same family. Which one do you think is 18 years old? Which one? Yes, John. John is 18 years old. So on Saturdays, he goes out. So he doesn't sleep a lot. Okay, and which one do you think is 7? Yes, Nellie is 7. That's why she sleeps more. And Fiona is the mother. Okay, so Fiona is the mother, John and Nellie. Okay, very good. You can make some sentences about this graph if you want. Now I'm going to put another graph on, right? And again, I'll talk you through it very quickly, and then you'll do a reading activity related to this graph, okay? All right, so here again we have, this is the hours that 3 people in the family slept last week. So it's just 1 week, not every day, just 1 week, okay? Now, if you look at Frankie first, now Frankie goes up and down, up and down, up and down, okay? So Frankie is 18 as well. So he's like his friend John. So he sleeps, sometimes he sleeps a lot and sometimes he doesn't sleep. So last week, for example, on Monday to Tuesday, he slept 10 hours. But then on Wednesday, less. And on Saturday, he only slept 4 hours, right? So he goes up and goes down, goes up and goes down. Now, if we look at the blue, Greta, now she sleeps more or less, it's kind of steady, but she sleeps between, I would say, 4.5 hours and about 7 hours, so not very much, probably because she's got a dog and a cat and they wake her up in the night and in the morning. Okay, and let's have a look at Nick. Okay, so Nick, again, he sleeps between, well, last week he slept between 6 and 8 hours, depending on the day. Okay, now have a look at that chart, and I'm going to put a little text on the screen describing this graph, but it has one mistake. Can you see the mistake? Maybe you have to pause the video and go back. That's okay. It's not an exam. All right. So let me put it on. Okay. Can you see? Shall I put? Here we are. Graph. The graph. And the text. Okay, I'll read it. It's difficult to say who slept the most. Frankie's line on the graph goes up and down. On Monday and Friday, he slept more, but he only slept 4 hours on Saturday night. Greta slept less than Frankie and Nick. Nick slept longer on Wednesday than on Friday, but in general, he slept between 6 to 8 hours the whole week. Okay, so where's the mistake? Yes, here is the mistake. Nick slept longer on Wednesday than on Friday. And on Wednesday, no, he slept longer on Friday than on Wednesday. So it's the wrong way round. Okay. Now, very good. Ooh, a lot of information. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think it's a very good idea to practice, write sentences, look at graphs, find statistics on the internet, read, listen, practice, okay? And well done. That was a very full class. Sorry, I put the wrong slide. I'm sorry. Okay, so in this class, we looked at charts and graphs. We looked at verbs, 6 verbs, 2 phrasal verbs, and 4 other verbs to describe going up and down. We did some reading practice, we did some listening practice, and we talked about different types of numbers. Okay, so now I just want to show you one more thing, and this is a reminder about the next class. All right, please remember that next class is a review lesson. Yes, it's a review lesson. So please make sure you come, and it's a review, and so we will review what we did in lesson 26, 27, 28, and 29. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I will see you very soon. Okay, take care. Bye.